What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Firewall, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
What up?
What is going on? So we had a little bit of a break. I got stuck in traffic last time. That's my fault. I forgot about Florida. So I ain't leave today. I left my house early and I got back. So what has been going on in this Olympic post-pandemic world of y'all's?
Man, I don't have any complaints actually, man. You know, I there was a stretch there where I was like going out a little bit, you know what I mean? Then Delta variant came out and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a punk. Stay in the house.
Go back in the house?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the house.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's putting a whooping on people who aren't vaccinated. That's what they say. I don't know. The numbers are crazy. Like Florida, I saw a stat this morning that said the state I'm currently in, Florida, 1 in every 5 cases is Floridian. How is that possible?
I saw that and I didn't want to send it to you because I didn't want to have you fly back off again.
Man, I saw that and I was like, yo, just get the shot. Right. If you can, I get it. But if you can, man, just get that shot. Because it's putting a hurting on people.
Yeah, I saw one that was saying it was like 99% of the people that were catching it were the ones that were unvaccinated.
Yeah.
I was like, that number can't be real. I was like, there's no way.
Supposedly that's how potent it is. Like even Governor DeSantis is like, hey, everybody get vaccinated.
Right.
Like, go get your shot. It's free. Go get that thing. Because now it's becoming a pandemic for only the unvaccinated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Because even when they have the breakthrough cases with people that are vaccinated, like they're not getting sick like these people that are unvaccinated, man. And they're on ventilators and breathing machines and
they're
dying soon after getting it.
Sucks. Yeah. Hopefully people start to voluntarily take it. But every now and then I see people in masks. So there's some people who still mask up and you know what I mean, and go out. But like I don't think we've talked since I went to Universal. Universal, man, it was like maybe 1 in every 50, 60 people were masked up. So I was like, everybody must be vaccinated.
Right.
This whole park must be vaccinated.
Right. You really doubt that.
Right.
Especially statistics have been kind of lacking on the vaccinated. What is it like? What, 40, 50% of people are vaccinated, fully vaccinated right now?
Something like that. Yeah. Stats, not the 70 that they're looking for.
Yeah, I think it was 58. I think they got the 58.
We getting there. We're going up.
That's true. I tell you what, you mentioned Universal. I got a trip coming up to Disney soon, man. Disney World down in Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, man, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, are they going to burn through this variant before we get there? Or is it still going to be hot? Because I'm like, we might have to cancel it. I don't know. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we had our youngest mask up, but you know, water park, you can't really do it because your mask will get wet. But all the other days we had a mask up, and you saw a lot of little kids wearing their masks. So people are, you know, looking out for the littles and whatnot. Yeah. I tried at the beginning, but it's so damn high here.
That was my concern. That was my concern too.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I'm vaccinated. I'm sorry. I got to pop this thing off. But it's not the vaccination podcast. I apologize, everybody. I was just catching up. It's been a couple weeks. We are on the summer schedule. So that means that we're posting 1 episode a week. That's at least an hour long. Just because it's hard for me to edit and, you know, actually have a life. So sorry. But when I get back overseas, I'm gonna hit y'all back up with an episode every day. I promise. With that being said, a little bit of news, and I'm kind of glad we waited, I guess, because we were going to talk about REvil, how REvil disappeared, but there's also other news as well. So I'll let LeVon go into the REvil, Resident Evil, or whatever they call themselves, information.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, so we have the REvil story from Fortune. Looks like Chris Morse was the one that created this article. REvil ransomware websites go offline, and no one is sure exactly why. So as you alluded to, Ryan, it looks like REvil has kind of disappeared from the web. It looks like they've gone dark for 4 days after Joe Biden urged Russian President Vladimir Putin to take action to disrupt ransomware groups operating in Russia, because we know that that's a pretty big hub for a lot of these ransomware saboteurs that are operating. Currently they seem to be coming from Russia a lot and targeting U.S. operations and some other locations. But the current administration has been trying to put a little pressure on on the Russians and Vladimir to like kind of take care of these groups, and because they're concerned also that maybe they might be state sponsored or what have you. But I guess there's some things that they're still trying to dig into and try to confirm, where these attacks are originating from and who's like sponsoring them and how they're, kind of coming together. But it looks like, according to this article, looks like even like the payment site is down and some of their other sites, they're pretty much gone kind of silent. And obviously we know that REvil's been responsible for a lot of the attacks, like I guess Kaseya, however you say it now, is the group, the company that's been most recently disrupted by their actions. And I think it kind of snowballed and affected a lot of other corporations within the United States. Of course, the JBS with the meat packing and all that kind of stuff from Brazil was also affected. But they seem to have gone dark, and nobody really knows exactly why, whether it's like some US-led operations or maybe they're just kind of going silent because they're getting too much attention in media and a lot of focus and a lot of maybe more than they really want. But we don't know exactly what's going on. But hopefully they, something comes together as far as like identifying what's going on and make sure that they maybe kind of stay offline so that we can maybe prevent them from returning back to prominence. But what do you guys think about this?
So I have two theories, right? I think that it was political pressure. Most likely, that's like the most reasonable answer is like, hey, listen, we ain't gonna take too many more of these. So we need you to tell them to shut down shop
Right.
and keep it moving. But it could also be that the FBI or the Department of Justice or whomever, kicked in some virtual doors and took them offline.
Right.
So that's the one I would like to believe, because it just is way more aggressive and cool. And then it shows that that good old American might. However, Russia is probably under a lot of scrutiny by almost the entire world, because they're not just affect the U.S. This Kaseya whole situation affected international as well. So it could be like the conglomerate of people like, hey, shut this down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or we will put sanctions on you so quick. So I think it's good news. Again, I can only speculate what made them disappear, but they gone. What about you, Shannon?
Right.
Yeah, man. I think I agree with Biggie on this one. I think we kicked in the door, waved in the 4.4.4.4.4. That's how we
I like it. I like
it.
Right.
Yeah, but no. So like your second one is what I think it is. Like I think it got to the point where us here in America, we were like, okay, we're sick of this, right? Like we keep taking it on the chin, and enough is enough. And I think because of the Kaseya one, where it affected so many at once, I think that was kind of what put it over. I think diplomacy was kind of what lost out at that point. It was like, okay, we have offensive forces that can go out there and do work. Let's make them earn that money now. You know what I mean? Or it could, there is the possibility that Putin probably went out there and was like, hey, you guys ever seen Sum of All Fears? The movie Sum of All Fears?
I think I did.
I think I did too. I can't remember.
It's the Tom Clancy. It's when Ben Affleck plays Tom Ryan. So like, it's from long ago, like probably 20 years ago or so. But like, there's at the end of it. So like, what ended up happening was there was kind of like a Russian coup that was going on in the background, and like the Russians took care of the Russians that tried to make them look bad. So at the end of the movie, like the U.S. president and the Russian president are signing a treaty, but they're doing these flashes to what else is going on, and the Russian guys that were attempting the coup were getting taken out by Russians. So Putin could have went out there and was like, "Hey, I know where y'all at. I got something."
Right. Right.
I'm okay. I'm old KGB. Let me show you how we used to do this. You know what I mean? But no, like I mean, it's one of those things where honestly, I don't care how it happened. I'm glad it did. Right now, that's not to say it's going to stop. Right? Like it could be, double REvil when they come back. You know what I mean?
I don't want that. Not double REvil.
I know,
double REvil.
But it's not like this is uncommon, right? To where some of these hacker collectives, they go away, and then they come back for whatever reason, right? It could be vacationing off all the money they made. You know what I mean? So, You
Right.
never know.
But
But
so that's the crazy part though. So they're not collecting though, right? Because there's no way to pay them.
no, no.
But then
Mhm.
then there's the other hand of it, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but like, so if I can't pay you, then how do I get decrypted?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
With this ransomware as a service? But we could pivot right into that I think that's a very interesting one. So this one happened in the time we had off with Kaseya. So I'll leave it to you, Shannon.
All right. So, as we've been mentioning already with Kaseya, right? So, this article is actually on The Hill, and it is by Maggie Miller. Was that right? Maggie Miller, yes. And it says Kaseya obtains key to decrypt systems weeks after ransomware attack, right? And so they go into this and they talk about how they obtained a key, they obtained the tools, what they say, from a trusted
Mhm.
third party. And for confidentiality reasons, they're not going to say more than that. They're not going to say who the third party was, right? A spokesman for the company, but they're like, "Hey, we got a key." Now they've never come out and said we've paid that ransom either, because I think it started out at 70 million, went down to 50, I think, and then like nothing else came of it. That I saw. There was no other figures
Mhm.
thrown around, and Kaseya has not. Again, Kaseya has not come out and said they paid it, but um, this is one of those things. So like, as I said previously, where I thought the government kind of stepped in, I kind of had that same feeling here too, right? Like I think they went and got help from some of these American law enforcement agencies, but they don't want to make it known. I believe they helped them on the premise of, hey, don't go around telling everybody this, right? Because then what's going to end up happening is everybody's going to say, well, hey, you helped Kaseya, help
Right.
me out. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
and it's not gonna. There's going to be no incentive for them to um, beef up their IT security like they need to, right? Like the government's not trying to act as a backstop for this, right? They're trying to be a deterrent for certain things that are going on when it comes to this. But I in my heart of hearts, I'm thinking it was law enforcement here in the States that went and helped them out. And they're like, hey, keep your mouth shut.
Right.
But keep your mouth shut, because we don't
Right.
need everybody banging at the door, because we don't have the manpower for that. And again, we want people to take it seriously. We don't want them to just be like, oh, the government's got us, or something should happen. You know what I mean? Is my
Mhm.
feeling on it. But LeVon, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, as you said, that's kind of interesting, that the idea that maybe our American cybersecurity group maybe doing like a decryption as a service or something like that, where they like, hey, if you want to pay us some extra money, we can get you that key. We can hack their system and get you the key back, get access to your stuff. So it's like maybe a counter service to the ransomware as a service. So now that's interesting though. I'd be curious to find out. You know, they trying to they're kind of trying to say hush hush about this third party vendor, wherever they got the key from. Um, and I'm also kind of curious. You would think if they pay the money that they would, I don't know,
They'd have to
maybe they'd be,
disclose it, right? You would
yeah, they'd
have.
have to be upfront about it, right? When they have
Yeah.
to like, they
Because they
have to
have
like file that.
shareholders.
Right, right. They have to file the information, especially if it's millions of dollars. If it's maybe up to $50 million that they were, that they were demanding, that they would have to like, make that information public, or at the very least, I don't know, write it off on their taxes or something like that.
It's
But
better for them to say it now than for it to come out in
yeah,
a financial disclosure down the road. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Say it now.
Yeah,
Just put it out there. If that
yeah.
was
Just get
the
it
case.
out. Yeah, just get it out there.
Just get out
Just let us know. But I mean, with that being said, I mean, perhaps they do. They found like some other route to get the key and get access to the data again, and um, they've been infected for a while now. I don't know when I remember first hearing about this story, but it seems like they've been kind of
It was
under this.
early July. I think it was early
Yeah, early
July.
July, right?
So it's
Yeah,
been
it's
it's
almost like
been 3 weeks at least, I think.
right. And now
Right.
that just now getting access to the data, so it's like they've been offline for a while. But you know, I think it's just interesting that that they were able to get back to, and hopefully they didn't have to pay for the ransom. I mean, we've been talking about that, we're kind of really advocating for companies not to be paying this money, and making these ransomware organizations like push harder to, because they know they can get the money out of these companies if they put them underneath underwater for a little bit. So they're keep to keep going on to the next company. But if the people stop paying them, I feel, even though I know people are out there that want to have fun anyway, but I feel like it'll have to slow down to some point, because they're gonna be like, we're doing all this work, we're hacking these companies, but we're not really getting anything out of it. So I think it's good overall generally if we just kind of like try to nip that in the bud, like we talk about with ransomware as ransoming people in general. Like we don't negotiate with terrorists, as they say. But hopefully that's something that took place here, and maybe, hopefully they got a hold of some people that were able to get this key and decrypt the data for them and get access to the files. But with that, so what do you think about this, Ryan? Do you have some thoughts as far as how this process went down?
I do, but first I would like to say decryption as a service is now intellectual property of
Right.
LeVon Maynard. Do not steal that. We will
That's
sue
right.
you into the ground. But with that being said, since we have a verbal contract, it's now the property of the other side of the firewall.
That's right.
We're gonna roll that product out. Don't worry, it's coming.
Right. That's right. We're coming. Yeah, coming soon. Coming to a theater near you.
So I do agree, but I would like to be the dissenting voice here, just to spice it up. So originally, I think I told Shannon, I was like, perhaps like an off theory would be perhaps there are white hat ethical hackers out there that are now providing this service where they're decrypting or providing encryption keys or encryption keys, same thing, right? To companies, and I thought that was would be a pretty wild take on it, but now saying that perhaps Putin put a boot into REvil, what if he made them give up the key as well? Like, hey, I need you to shut down because they're coming for us.
Right.
And I need you to get that key up. So
yeah, you make us look bad.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be because they're going too hard, like because it's only coming from one area. Like, there's still some stuff that China's doing as well, or at least to be privateers or whatever. Like, not saying that's China proper. It's not nation sponsored, but it's gone quiet, right? Because it's all about Russia right now. Like Russia is just attacking the world, except for like we saw with Kaseya, where if you had Cyrillic as your default language or Mandarin, or I think they also didn't mess with Iran. Like anybody who was a pal, they didn't mess with you. So I think it could be perhaps political as well. Like, hey, just give it up. Like you ain't gonna get the money because we need you to shut down for a little bit. And I need you to get that key up too.
That's right.
You put the hand on his back like oh boy from Batman, from like Bane. He was like, do you feel like you're in control?
Do you feel in control?
but like Shannon said, it doesn't matter what made it stop. It stopped. And hopefully with them being one of the biggest names in the game just disappearing like that, hopefully that put fear into other hackers as well, like just to break up the chain a little bit. But I mean, time will tell. Like we could be 2 weeks out from them doing something humongous, like some kind of supervillain type hack, because this one impacted 1,500 across, I don't even know how many countries, but pretty much anybody who was not one of those states that we heard. State, country, same difference that we had mentioned earlier, especially last week. I had like the full list and what have you. So I think it's very interesting. I am of the mindset, don't pay them. Hopefully it doesn't come out later like, we gave up some money, but it was a fire sale. So I mean, they like you said, 70 million, 50 million. Like they could have been like, give me $5, we gotta go.
Yeah, right.
give me something.
Right.
We gotta pack this up. And we still haven't heard the fallout from the other. Remember the hackers court when it came to the other hacker gang? What was their name? It wasn't REvil. It was Darkside. Darkside. Darkside was pretty much disbanded because they had internal contract dispute. People want their money and they weren't getting it because the FBI recovered some of it or all of it, for all we know. So I think it's good. We're beating people up. And I think a lot of good will come out of this. I just hope nothing jumps off in this week that we will be not recording. You know what I mean? Like something crazy will pop off and I'm like, oh man.
Right.
So here's the thing. I think in the future, we'll see what really happened this time by other collectives that may be hosted or maybe running their operations out of Russia, right? Like if we see another one comes up, right? And the same thing happens again, like a few weeks later, all of a sudden they're shut down and nothing happens, then I would be willing to give credit to Putin, right? To be like, he's putting boots in asses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if another one comes up, we think it's Russia, because we're pretty good at nailing down where these people are doing it from, right? Which is why in the first one we talked about, I think we went and kicked in the door, right? Because like we we've just been collecting intel and doing all this and just putting information out there and not taking any real action.
Right.
But
Mhm.
if it keeps happening like this, where somebody steps up, does something like this, and then they get shut down again, I mean, I hate to say it, I hate to sound like a previous president or anything, but maybe Putin isn't such a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about
I
that
don't
one.
really mean that. I don't really mean that.
Right. But I think it's also, TTPs, right? Techniques, tactics, procedures. We're seeing what they're doing. Like ever since Sunburst, we've been collecting data. You know what I mean? Like you can't put all your cards out there. Like they're just out here just smashing and grabbing and affecting systems and doing supply chain. Like it only makes us better on the offensive side as well. Like it does suck. We're always behind the curve, but now we're learning how you do business so we can attribute it to the right person. And we can kind of, in this case, perhaps they just were like, hey, we already have a key. We already saw this coming.
Right.
And they're able to decrypt, even though it was about, like you said, like 3 weeks. So what do they do in between time? I don't know. Probably just restore from backups will probably be my best guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very, very interesting. Again, hopefully things slow down. Maybe hackers like the Olympics, they want to watch that for a little bit. I don't know.
Taking a break. Yeah. Take a little summer break.
Like, but with that being said, how's everybody's week been going? Like we got it, or I guess 2 weeks. We can catch up.
Right. It's been a minute. Yeah, I had a good break. Actually took a trip, hung out with moms for a little bit, and got to rewatched a little bit of Ozark, which was on Netflix.
I heard good things. I have not watched it yet, though.
You haven't watched it yet.
No.
How about you, Shannon? Have you seen that Ozark yet?
No, but Ryan said he wants to watch it, so I'm out.
Did you finish Breaking Bad though?
I never watched Breaking Bad. I haven't seen it.
Oh, dang.
We're not friends anymore.
Dang.
Cancel this friendship.
Hey.
Matter of fact, where's the off button? I'm cutting it
Yeah,
off.
look, it's like Nino, throw the champagne on me. I buy another one. You know?
Man, arguably one of the best TV series since the Sopranos, I would say. Arguably.
Here's the thing. I'm not avoiding it or anything like that. Like it's not like, oh, it doesn't interest me what it is. It's just that I have so many things queued up. Like I'm skipping over things. Like we'll talk about something one week and I'm like, okay, well let me get on that then, you know.
Right.
It just keeps pushing stuff farther and farther back.
Right.
I think I have it on. I think Breaking Bad's on Hulu. I think because it was FX, right? Or was it FX? What was the?
I thought it was
AMC.
on,
it was AMC.
Oh, AMC. Yeah, but I think I've seen it on Hulu because it's got the thumbnail with him looking menacingly into the but I have not seen Ozark. Ozark's the one with Bateman, right? Jason Bateman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people who like Breaking Bad like Ozark. Is what I've been told.
It's along the same veins of as Breaking Bad, as far as like the, just the kind of like the main character is kind of like a bad guy a little bit, or like does bad things kind of thing. But I think it's really good. I had to we watched a little bit of the first season. I already I've already seen all the seasons, but rewatching again made me appreciate it even more. It's like such a good series. But I enjoyed some of that, and I watched a movie on Hulu. I think it's called like Boss Level or something like that. But it's like it's kind of like a little bit of like Groundhog's Day. This guy's like kind of trapped in this like timeline where he has to like repeat it over and over again. Every time he dies, he like starts from the beginning.
Okay.
And he has to like work his way to get to like the boss, and like some stuff happens when he gets to the boss, and then kind of like a like little twist here and there. But it's actually really entertaining. It's like a bunch of like action. It's like nonstop action. I think Shannon might appreciate that a little bit. It's not really like a deep storyline, but it's actually really entertaining. And how they made the main guy all badass and all this kind of stuff, and like he's getting all these women or whatever. But I enjoyed that one. And then I didn't mention this on a podcast a while back, but back on the 4th of July, there was I watched a movie called America, the motion picture on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched that one yet?
I watched the trailer and I was like, yeah.
It was actually a perfect 4th of July movie. Like we watched it on 4th of July, and it's pretty much like made, to celebrate like America, like 1776 or whatever, like we got our independence from Britain. But it's like such a like off the wall, like it's all animated, and it's I'm trying to think of some of like the craziest parts, but it's like I'd put it in line with something like dang, what was the like?
Is it like Family Guy type stuff, like that type of?
No, it's like Team
No.
America, but animated.
Oh,
I think I saw George Washington flip somebody off. Like, I was
Right.
like, oh, this trailer's good.
Yeah. I want to say I'm trying to think of the name of
like
Adventure Bros. Like that.
Paradise PD and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, so more like that.
yeah.
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 Dang.
I don't know how historically accurate it is though. Like the trailer didn't really. They had the characters.
It reminds me of Venture Bros. The Venture Bros. I'm not sure if you've ever seen like.
I've seen a couple.
I think
It's like Johnny Quest, but real adult. Where you be like, oh.
Yeah, real adult. Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, but it's obviously but it's just like really good. And they like they had a part where instead of like drag racing with like cars, they were drag racing with like horses, and like they had them all like tricked out and had like neon lights on them and stuff like that. And then had like a car chase scene, but they were all horses, and they were doing like what was it? Like drifting around the corners with the horses and stuff like that. It's some crazy stuff. And they were like, and they're like shooting stuff as they're going backwards on a horse. Like, it's off the chain. You got to see it though. I think it's it had me cracking up. Yeah, it had me cracking up. It was perfect for the 4th of July. But I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. But that was a great movie. I watched a whole bunch of different shows, but I didn't really play any video games in the last week here. Mostly hanging out with the family. Yeah, I've been kind of letting this slack.
Just put them in the mail. Just send them to where I live at. Just ship them to me. I'll take care of them.
Right.
Especially since he keep teasing us with all these things.
I know.
Like LeVon is the one that always sends us like whenever something drops, he's on it, right? But
right, right. It'd be like, I just bought it, I left it in the corner. You just see a photo of like his door being propped open with a graphics card. You'd be like, yo, people came for finals.
That's right. I did pick up a graphics card from Best Buy, one of the new 3080s.
Which one?
I got the 3080 Ti.
Yeah, the Ti.
Yeah, Ti.
And you probably have been playing Minecraft on it.
Right.
just to make us sad about our lives.
I've been playing cell phone games while my
it's like playing Snake in the background.
But yeah, I did pick up one of those bad boys. I'm gonna hook up my computer. I haven't installed it yet, but I'm hooking up on my computer here.
See? I should watch the video to see my disappointment. Just the head shake.
Right. Head shaking left and right. So how about you guys? You guys been up to much this week? Any video games or TV shows you've been watching, studying or whatever?
Actually, studying? No. I thought
he was going to say I actually studied. Here it comes.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. They just getting my money as I keep rescheduling this test. But
yeah,
I did watch. You suggested a few weeks back, The Man from Nowhere, right?
Oh, you did watch.
I watched that. The action is great, but it is so few and far between. Man, I'm like, I don't care about.
You need more action.
I need more of him doing some of the stuff that he's doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was off the chain. I was like, oh,
it
was like 3 big fighting sequences. I was like, oh man, that's what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tried to continue watching Rick and Morty, but again, like whenever the youngest comes in, it's just not for her, right? So
right. It can get real raunchy too. So it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Like as soon as she comes in, I gotta find something else to watch. You know what I mean? So like at night, like usually at night, she wants to hang around with me and her mom. So we've been watching. I don't know if you guys ever watched this series with Damon Wayans, old series, My Wife and Kids. You guys ever seen?
Yeah, I never finished it. If it had a conclusion, I never finished it, but I did used to watch it.
Yeah, I like that show.
I've seen it before, but like, it's more family friendly. But even some of the stuff they say in there, I'm like, I hope she's not paying attention, right? Like I'm hoping my daughter's not paying attention when they say this. But yeah, watch some of that. Castlevania is another one I got to turn off whenever she comes in. I'm in the 3rd season of that now, which it seems to have slowed down some in the 3rd.
Yeah,
season.
It does.
Yeah,
so it's like let's give you a little exposition. You're like, nah, because I think it was season 2 where it was like just going. I think me and LeVon talked about it. It was just like killing, orgy, killing. You're like, yo, it's a whole episode. It's just flashing back and forth. I was like, I don't know what to think right now.
I did not think. I mean, it's been out for a few years now, so it shouldn't be a spoiler. But I didn't think Dracula was gonna bite it. I was like, what are we going to do now?
Right,
Like, what
right.
is it?
Right.
And then like that's what it's like slow. Like the first episode of the third season is slow. You know, Alucard is in the castle and he's
Yeah.
doing, and I'm like, so I've gotten as far as it's the Japanese the two Japanese kids that come. I think they're kids.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
as far as I am. So
Yeah.
like maybe 4 episodes into the third season.
yeah.
maybe?
It's about to ramp up again.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So like, yeah, whenever my children aren't around, you know what I mean? Like I don't stay up as late as I used to, so I can't even watch it at night. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like their bedtime is like my bedtime now. So,
I hear that.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no,
it does slow down, like you said, but then it's gonna ramp back up, and then it's like one of the, because I don't know if you consider it an anime or not. I go back and forth. To me it's a cartoon, but it has some of the best dialogue. Where you be like, oh, that was witty.
Right. Right. It's clever.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
it seems like it is because what else happened? Oh, Isaac found that captain to get him on the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They about to go wreak havoc. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that was a good dialogue between them too. Like the captain and Isaac is like, it's like something about like, I want to be on your boat. He's like, oh, you want to be on my boat? He's like, hey, you got to pay me.
He's like, I
It's
need
like,
the
you can kill
coin.
me. Yeah, but you can kill me. But then who's gonna operate your boat? Yeah.
Right.
He's like-
Yeah, but so that's kind of where I'm at. So like, yeah, the Japanese kids show up and then he's getting on the boat. So I'm like, okay, it's something's gonna ramp up. So
yeah,
but yeah, that's pretty much it. As those few things. I haven't played video games in a long time. You know what I mean? So but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And staying inside. Again, Delta variant got me shook.
right.
Man. Hopefully this thing calms
Hey, it's
down.
understandable though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it calms
It's
down.
understandable.
I was gonna say, so I'm the only one living my best life for the new consoles, basically. Like I do want to talk, like I finished Loki. I do want to talk about Loki, but I won't wait to the end because I just want to spoil it.
Watch Loki. Yeah.
And then people don't want to hear the spoilers, they just cut it off at that point.
Right.
But I've been playing Ratchet and Clank. I downloaded it just to see how it plays. And like we have now entered Pixar territory. Like we've been talking about it since like the PS3. Like all these games are gonna look like Pixar. It looks as good, if not better, than Pixar in motion. Like I went with the performance RT mode, so I'm getting to 60 frames with ray tracing. It turns down the resolution a little bit. I can't tell the difference, and I'm a stickler. Like it went from 4K to like 3895. Like it's real good, and there's a few other ones as well. Like I can't go back to 30 though. I tried flipping to 30, and it just felt like moving in slow motion. Like, so if anything, these consoles, like they might not still be 38 Ti's or what have you, but they are definitely beasts because the game looks immaculate. And then the controller is just crazy. Like every time I get a new weapon, it's just the feel of the controller, like feeling the sticks, doing different things. Like I had to, my wife was asleep next to me and I had the headphones on. So I popped on some headphones. I was like, I'll be respectful and whatnot. And I'm playing and I noticed that she keeps looking at me. And I'm like, what's she looking at? So I moved the headset. And like, because they're so independent, like literally the gun I was firing was causing the rattle. It was like, tank.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I was like, oh, I should probably get this off.
Yeah.
I was like,
the wife.
Yeah, it's amazing. So my kids play it 0. I'm thinking about taking it with me. They never play it.
Yeah.
I'll probably leave it. Sooner or later it'll be a game that they want to play on it.
They're playing mostly the Xbox. Is that what's going on?
No.
They're not playing at all.
Yeah, like my youngest is mostly focused on his tablet right now. And then Junior, he's playing like Roblox, like with his friends, like all this, because a lot of friends don't have the new systems, but they all have PCs that can run Roblox, so he plays that most of the time. Like with the most trash graphics ever and controls. Is where he spends his time though. Like it's a variety of games, right? There's like thousands of games in Roblox. That's just where he's at. He just turned 13 last weekend. I'm playing Roblox.
Dang.
I'm like, all right, I just keep $1,000 worth of systems sitting
Right.
on the shelf collecting dust.
Well, those systems were for you anyway. You were just like, you're just getting them like, oh yeah, this is for the kids. But as soon as you
That's
get
what that's
home,
what
it's
the
like,
second one is supposed to be. That's when I get one for myself.
yeah, you gotta get two. You get two of everything,
Yeah,
huh?
that was gonna be my chance, but yeah, they're
Yeah.
not playing them yet. But I'm sure something will come out. Like I showed him Ratchet and Clank, and he seemed mildly impressed. He's like,
Mhm.
no, can't play with my
Right.
friends. Solo game. I'm like, bruh, well, I'm gonna beat this
Right.
then.
Yeah. Right.
I'll play it and
Right.
beat it. Um, what else? I watched the Quiet Place Part 2. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I did see that as well.
Yeah. So did you see the first one, Shannon?
I haven't seen either one of them. No.
So the first one is real good. Second one I thought was really good too, but the first one
Mhm.
is like really good.
Yeah.
I think you would enjoy it if you like the suspense, because you get to see the bad guys and whatnot, but it's like just enough. Like it's more about like people's reaction to what's happening and just destruction and whatnot. The second one, they just
Mhm.
like, nah, we're gonna show you everything.
Right.
Like the second one is like a sequel prequel. Like it shows you day one and then jumps right to picking up where the last one left off at. So I would say watch the first one and then the second one picks up right after. And then it was like, what we're going to show you day one. They flip back to when it happened. They show you how it went
Mhm.
down. I was like, okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. So I can see it being a trilogy though.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm. I haven't watched Bird Box. I haven't watched that. Like all those ones that are like the big thrillers lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the trailers and it doesn't seem like it's for me, right? Like I realize it's on. What was it on? It was on
It's
Netflix, I
on
think.
Paramount.
Bird.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Paramount Plus? Okay.
Well, no, yeah. So Bird Box is Netflix, but Paramount Plus it has the Quiet Place 1 and 2 is streaming too, even though it's in
Oh,
theaters.
okay.
So
Okay.
I did the trial and I canceled. I got what I needed. So
Right.
I saw the movie and I was like, and cancel.
Cancel.
Um, but I thought it was really good. I thought they did a really good job. Was it Cusack? Is that who is the director?
Yeah. John
Essentially, is it?
Cusack, right? No,
Yeah,
Chris.
he
What's
yeah
his?
he
Yeah, the guy
From The
from
Office?
Office, right?
yeah,
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 Office
he's
guy.
starting the first one with his wife, and then he directs the second one, and he's in it as well. I thought it was really good, so I would recommend if people like the post-apocalypse with aliens, go for
Mhm.
it.
Right. Right.
You're welcome. Um, what else did I do? I didn't. I decided because I was inspired by the Olympics. I've been watching the Olympics nonstop because it's what I do when they happen to chase my son. Put him on his bike and I was like, we're gonna go for a run. And he
Mm.
smoked me for 2 miles, the 6-year-old.
Dang.
And as you can see, I'm still like I keep pulling. This is an energy drink, so I can stay awake for the rest of the day. So I am not built for this COVID world. I put on some weight. I got
Right.
slow. I looked at my watch. I was like, I obviously had a stroke while I was running at one point because I hit 199.
Dang.
I was like, I'm not in good shape right now. So I learned
You,
a
you
valuable
sure it's
lesson.
not the energy drink?
No,
Right.
this was during the run.
Okay.
I would check my stats because I like before COVID, I was like, I'm doing all right. Run 2
Yeah.
here, 5K there, maybe a 6. This 2 miles with my ass. I'm still
Had you
hurt.
sweating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to do it more frequently before I get back um, to my other home. So I'm not in
Right.
terrible shape. But yeah, I learned a valuable lesson. I'm not an Olympian, even though they. I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics. The Olympians are still Olympians, but they're a little bit more human this year
Mm.
because of the pandemic.
Right.
You got people winning golds that never won golds before. People who should be winning golds, not even medaling.
Yeah.
I like it. I think this is where the Olympics should be. Like more realistic.
Right. Yeah.
I've never been one to pay attention to the Olympics. Like even when it came to basketball, like I watch basketball and whatnot, but like I never watched Olympians playing basketball. And I saw today they just lost to France. I
Yeah,
think.
we lost to France.
So
Yep.
I'm
Dang.
like, all right, we back to
Dang.
2004 where we might get a bronze again. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
we'll
We
see.
lost a touch.
Yeah.
Used to be unstoppable
Yeah, that's
in the
pretty much in
Olympics.
everything. Like I saw Austria won the women's um Peloton. No, not Peloton. I forget what it was, but it was like the road race, like the long race.
Mm,
Lady from Austria smoked everybody by like at least a mile.
mm, damn.
And she's like 38 PhD in mathematics. Crushed them. The lady who was in second thought she was in first. That's how quick this lady got ahead
Damn.
and then stayed ahead. So
Right.
when she got to the end, she saw the lady and she hugged her and congratulated her and whatnot. And then she confessed, she was like, I thought I was number one. So
Yeah.
she said,
I
had I have
forgot about
seen
her.
her, I would have tried to catch up. But I was like so far ahead because like the first, second, third were so spaced out. She was like, I thought I was good.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Austria's second medal of all time, first gold.
Mm,
Yep. So people
damn.
breaking records is crazy.
Right.
It's crazy right now. So I'm like, yeah, this showcases how the world dealt with the pandemic. It was
Yeah.
rough.
I don't think Austria is tripping too hard though, because they're like, hey, we did export Arnold Schwarzenegger, so you got all your 80s movies out from us,
It's
right?
true. My
That's
entire
right.
childhood.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what they're telling us. You're welcome. We gave you Schwarzenegger, so we gave
Right.
you Mr. Was it
Yeah, Olympia. Yep.
Olympia, yeah, several
Yep.
times. So yeah, but yeah, they ain't worried about it.
Yeah. I was watching fencing. I don't know why I was watching that. I was watching judo. I was
Right.
getting down with the.
You got to tell me why this is. So like, I see this with the World Cup too, right? Like people that
Mhm.
you never hear talk about soccer, like the World Cup all of a sudden comes up. Or the
See, I don't
Olympics.
watch the World Cup though, because people know people in the World Cup. I like this. Like in the Olympics, I get away with not knowing anybody. Like I'm just there to spectate. So like the 3-on-3 basketball, I was like, okay, this is new. I've never seen this before. They're like dunking on each other. I'm like, all right,
Oh damn.
They have a 3-on-3 basketball. In the Olympics?
yeah,
I haven't
yeah. I
watched it yet,
saw
but I
it.
heard.
I
Yeah.
watched Japan versus I think Argentina, maybe, and he
Oh
was
dang.
getting at them.
Mm,
And it's so
that must
quick too. Like it's
right.
like street
Fast
ball
pace.
rules. Yep, they
Right.
fouling the mess out of each other, getting banged on. I'm like, all right, I like it.
But, yeah, hanging on a rim, putting a crotch in their face, like whoa.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I watched water polo this morning, the U.S. versus Japan. I'm like, I'm all over the place, man.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan. I haven't actually watched it yet, but I plan to. But I normally just hop on there and watch some random sport for a little bit. Turn it off or whatever, and turn back on later on. Watch some other random sport a little bit to see what's going on, especially if it's like USA is involved.
Yeah.
See how we're doing. And then, but yeah, it's like I get respect to the sports. I mean, I don't really obviously like Shannon was saying, I don't follow all the sports like outside of, and I don't
Oh
think they
yeah,
really like
I
even
watch none of this. Yeah.
yeah, they don't really advertise. You don't see like fencing on TV, like, oh, Saturday night, we're gonna have some fencing on.
On
Stay
the
tuned.
Ocho.
on the Ocho. So it's like it's a chance to see some of these sports you maybe not familiar with, or you don't really see it regularly. Especially like 3-on-3 basketball, and like that's something new, and like judo and karate. I think karate's a new one this year too. And then I heard next Olympics potentially, I think they have Thai. Thai is going to be like an official Olympic sport.
Okay.
So something I kind of appreciate. I like Thai boxing, and obviously along with the regular boxing and things like that.
Yeah.
So that should be kind of interesting to see how that turns out. But
Yeah, I think I watched the featherweight. The featherweight guy, I think, or was it welterweight? I think it was featherweight. And it was like the first year they've done featherweight. And he's like, he went pro because of the pushback from the pandemic, and there was some loophole they allowed him to come back in. But he was boxing against a dude from France. The dude from France was straight bullying him.
Oh damn!
Because he kept trying to clinch, and dude from France was like, "Nah." Kept pushing him down.
Don't touch me.
Punching him back of the head. So he kept losing points. It's like, dog, like you're not going to win if you keep beating him up the way you're beating him up.
Right.
He didn't care. He's like, nope.
Yeah. Nope, I don't care.
He's like, I'm doing this for France.
That's a little bit different. Like prize fighting is different from like Olympic rules. So like Olympic rules is more of the points based, right? Like they want to see
so, yeah.
land shots and do all that. In the pros, it's like, all right, I got to pick and choose, right? Because I fight for the prize, right? So he probably had a year of like when they knew it was getting pushed back from 2020, he was like, all right, I'm gonna go pro. Like he's been doing the last year of trying to fight a pro style. It just does not work for him right now.
Yeah, he was 4-0. So he's 4. His pro record is 4-0. And I think the French guy was supposed to make Rio, but he didn't. So he said he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. So like he might have won, but he was too wild. Like he was just because they only do 3 rounds. So like the first round, the dude from the U.S. won. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Second round, the French dude obviously won. Third round, he was just beating him up.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna win this way. Like, you getting your aggression out, but you ain't gonna win.
Right. Damn.
And the thing is, like, if you don't medal in the Olympics, that don't necessarily mean you ain't gonna make it in the pros either, right? So
Right.
like, you got people like, well, even though he was robbed, like Roy Jones got a silver. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather, I think, was a bronze medalist. You know what I'm saying? So guys that went on to have illustrious careers that did not get gold. But again, Roy Jones was robbed. Like even I think it was the South Korean dude he lost to because they did it in Seoul that year in '88. I think it was
Oh,
88.
okay. So yeah, the home field advantage.
Yeah, and even the South Korean was like, I think he lifted him up or something after they said that he won, like the fix was in. And the South Korean dude was like, nah, I didn't win this. Like you got it. Because Roy was just looking around like, what? Like, are you for real right now? But
Right.
yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that's not a measure of who's gonna go on to be successful in prize fighting now. So.
Right. But yeah, but all in all, I'm enjoying it. Like, I know we're not doing so hot, Team America, but I still like still doing better than any regular human being.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you could talk
I was
trash all you want to, because I saw somebody was doing something. I was like, I could do that. And I thought about it. I was like, no, I can't.
Right. Right.
It's
And
not possible.
I was looking at our medals. I mean, I guess we're number 3 as far as gold medals, but
Yeah.
we're number 2 at total medals. Like we have
Right.
10. I think China has 11, and Japan has 6. But they have, I think Japan has 1 or 2 more golds than we have.
Yeah,
Same
which
China.
is fine. Like, people get real upset, like, oh, America has to win all the medals and all that stuff. Like, I just really
Right.
wanted to see the competition.
It's
Right.
Like,
not
just
fine. It's not fine. This is America. We need gold. This is America.
This is America.
we
This is
need
America.
gold.
you need all the golds.
Yeah.
That's for 20. What are we gonna do? The next one is
2024 will be the next one.
2024. So they don't
Yeah.
even get a full 4-year break.
No.
So
Which is good for the people that are young now that are entering competition, right? Like they don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I think it's bad for the ones that this will be their last year because they had to postpone it a year. Like they were they were more than likely in better shape a year ago.
right.
Happened,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Could run a couple miles.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up. But then, I'll stop beating around the bush. So I watched Loki. I have not watched all of Wanda yet. I am watching Wanda. I have not watched any of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I skipped straight to Loki because I was like, this is the one I want to watch. And I was not disappointed. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was really, really good. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah. Did you watch it, Shannon? Did you watch
did.
Loki yet?
I
Oh,
did.
yeah. Okay.
I did. I finished it too, yeah.
Okay, I don't make sure I don't want to.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert! Like, from here on out, spoilers. You ain't worried about the rest of the show. Like, share, subscribe. Come back next week. I hold nothing back.
It's like, we're kicking you out now. But no, I thought it was really great. I thought it was really good. I think I enjoyed WandaVision a little bit more. And Falcon Winter Soldier was good too. I think more so. I think what I liked about Winter Soldier was the towards the end, like what they did with some of the relationships with the new Captain America and this old man that he kind of got introduced to. I thought that was kind of a good relationship. I liked how that kind of played out. But I enjoyed Loki. I thought it was really good. I like how the finale ended with the. I like my boy from Lovecraft Country. He popped in there.
Ryan, I knew I recognized him, but until you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that's where I saw him from. Now, mind you, I didn't watch all of Lovecraft Country, right? But I was like, oh yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yeah. Both him and B-15. Yeah, B-15. She was the sister on Lovecraft Country to Journey's character, her sister. She acted her butt off in that one too. So I was like, okay. And then there was one more agent. I can't remember her name, but she was the one that got enchanted in like the carnival. And then you saw her later on where she kept saying, it's real.
B-20.
Is it B-20?
I think it was 20.
So she's from Utopia, off of Amazon Prime. So that was another show that I watched. I really enjoyed. She was like the main character. It's kind of like a twist on what is it? Alice in Wonderland, but really deranged. And it
Right.
has to do with pandemics, oddly, just before the pandemic. So if you watch it, you were like, it's odd. But oh man, what's the dude's name? I want to call everybody Cusack now. But it has a really big name also in the show. But so she was on there as well. So they've taken a lot of characters that Owen Wilson obviously and put them all in one show. I really liked it. They made a big deal out of old Loki or classic Loki as well. I don't know who that guy is, but
Yeah.
he's a renowned actor from back in the
I
day.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've never seen any of his stuff before. So
Right. He was like he kind of saved the day in that second to last episode or whatever.
yeah,
When he I thought that was pretty cool. The wife really liked that part too. It's like, she's like, giving a big support to the old school Loki. She's like, man, that's everybody you got to show some love to old school old
right.
school Loki. Classic. I think she called it classic Loki.
Yeah,
But
that's what
he's
pops
pretty
up.
cool.
He's classic Loki, and then the black Loki was boastful Loki.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
is it Loki from Wakanda? Like,
Yeah, right.
oh
That's
man,
right. That's the
was slow.
Wakanda
He
version.
had the hammer. He was
Right,
ready to get
right,
it.
right. He
But
looking like the Black Thor.
yeah, but all in all, I really enjoyed it. I thought he did a good job. I
Yeah.
like Tom is Hiddleston. Is that how you say it?
Huddleston. Yeah.
Hiddleston. I think he's a superb actor. I'm glad they
Hmm.
brought him back
Yeah.
because I was really sad when they killed him in the movie. But I do want to talk about that as well. Like obviously, if you watch the show, he's the Loki from 2012 from the New York, the war in New York, or the Battle of New York, or whatever they refer to in the MCU. But he gets to see his future and gets to make a different choice, which I thought was really cool. He gets to show a range of talent, right? He's not just mischief and what have you. I think uh, female Loki, what do they call her? Sylvie. I think Sylvie. I thought she was superb as well. Everybody was
Hmm.
good, man. Like Judge
Yeah.
Renslayer, like she's gonna come back hopefully. I thought she
Hmm.
was really good. Obviously, Owen Wilson did his thing, and he's iffy. But he did the thing in this. I thought he did a really good job. Um,
Hmm.
I thought the story was good. I didn't see there wasn't too much slowdown because there's only 6 episodes, right? So you had to get in and get it done. And then
Right.
obviously the last episode, some people complained because there was a lot of exposition because they had to explain what
Yeah.
Kang was or He Who Remains.
Well, he
And
wasn't Kang then.
yeah,
That's the thing. He wasn't Kang
yeah,
then.
he's He Who Remains.
Yeah.
Version
Right.
of Kang, because I guess there's Kang the Conqueror. Uh, there's a few other ones.
I'll tell you this. There's a guy I work with, very big into comic books. Like he's got them like all in his cubicle and whatnot. And I talked to him about it. So apparently, the He Who Remains is a guy from the comic books called Immortus. He just didn't have like this big hat on or whatever. But at the end, I don't know if you noticed at the end when he went back to the wrong timeline, there was just one statue. It wasn't the statue of the 3 timekeepers, right?
Yeah.
So that one statue, that is Kang.
Okay, so he's in the Kang
Yes.
timeline.
Yes.
Okay.
He's in the timeline with Kang where he runs the TVA. But he was talking about it and he was like, well, so before I read this article, because I read this article and then I went home that day and was looking into it, and like everything he was telling me was dead on. So they say that he is from the 31st century. He was Nathaniel Richards, right? Which is Sue and what's his name, Mr. Fantastic, Sue and Reed Richards, great grandson. Because we're in the 31st century.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, that's why he's a scientist. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I didn't. So because I saw people making a connection with Fantastic Four, and I was like, but why? Okay.
Yeah. So he is there, however many greats that is to get 1,000 years into the future, right?
Right.
But yeah, he is. But like he told him, he was like, "I am the best of what is out there." And as they start going into the multiverse,
Right.
like this is gonna tie into Doctor Strange next movie next year, right?
Right.
Like, what is it called? Something
Multiverse of Madness or
There you go. Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
So like this directly is gonna tie into that. Like I'm sure that's why they went into all of this. But
Right.
you will
Mhm.
see Jonathan Majors, I think is the actor's name
Yeah.
from Lovecraft Country. You will see him again because, like I said, Loki in this timeline that he got put back into is with Kang.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
there's another seed too. So he's already been cast in the Ant-Man and Wasp third movie. So he'll be in there as well. So what
Really?
iteration or
Oh.
whatever, when they go into the quantum realm, he's in that as well. So he's already been cast. And then they said that you may see Wanda, or
So
Sylvie in the Wanda movie that's coming out, the Scarlet Witch movie that's going to drop. Uh,
Mm.
and then there's something to, like, Spider-Man is going to have something to do with it as well. Like they're talking about, like, there might be some reality swapping to Spider-Man coming up. So like we're entering a whole nother phase where things just go really off the rail, which I'm ready for it. Like we've been doing this for how long? Like has it been, was it 2004? Is that when Iron Man dropped? I can't remember.
2009.
2009.
2009 was this Marvel Phase One.
Yeah, so we're
So
over a decade now. So
2008.
it's
Damn.
time. Yeah, it's time to switch things up. So now you can fold all types of stuff in there.
So I'll tell you an interesting thing I read. Right. So like we all saw Black Widow, right? I remember how
Hmm.
we're a
Yeah.
few we're a few weeks removed. We already told them the spoilers, so it is what it is.
Spoil
But
everything.
yeah, but so like at the end where she's whistling, so there was an alternate scene where remember how we were talking about, oh, we wanted her to whistle back. There was an
Right.
alternate scene
Right.
they filmed where she did, right? So let's think of
Hmm.
let's think about something we didn't think about. So at the end of Endgame, remember what Captain Rogers did, right? Remember what Captain America did? He
Yeah.
went and put all the stones back, right? And for the soul stone, what do you have to get the soul stone? It's a soul for a soul, right?
Right.
Hmm.
So if he put it back, he had to get a soul at some point, right? So
Hmm.
what's to say that
Mm.
he didn't go back and get Natasha's soul to bring her
Mm.
back to life, and she's going to show up again somewhere down the line.
Mm.
Maybe.
Mm. I can see
So
it.
Like, yeah,
that's how
you had
she's
to get
coming
something
back.
back, right? You had to
Yeah,
get something back. Yeah.
yep, that's how she's coming back.
So that kind of disrupts my theory then, because I was going to say, so my Loki theory is that Loki will have a show because it's really good, right?
Mm,
Well, he'll never be back in proper MCU because there's consequences, right? Like the Coulson never came back, even though we know Coulson survived. If you watch Agents of Shield, I didn't make it all the way through. I watched like maybe 4 seasons, 5 seasons, I don't remember, but Coulson never made it back to the MCU because he was the crux. Like he was the reason they became like they avenged, was because
right.
of Loki killing Coulson. So he never came back. So I was thinking that Loki can never come back as well because there's consequences, right? Like Thor saw him die, that motivated them, yada yada yada.
Hmm.
Um, so he can't come back. But if Natasha can come back from jumping off a cliff, anybody
Right.
can come back. So I guess we'll see.
I don't know. I don't know if they would. I think they'd have a wider audience in the movie theaters than Disney Plus subscribers to not bring Tom Hiddleston back. You know what I mean? Like they will put him in more movies. I think what'll happen, he may not be a main character in the what is it, Multiverse of Madness or whatever, but
Right.
I bet you he ends up in one of those end credit scenes. One of those.
Mm.
Oh, like
I
he
can
walks
almost
up, like
guarantee.
like the time door opens and he walks through.
Yeah, I can
Right.
almost like he'll come through with a Tim pad, you know what I mean, and be like, hey, I got to talk to you, to you know what I mean, for whatever reason.
Right.
Right.
Like
Mm.
I that's what I am willing to bet because he is a good actor. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
can't you
Very.
can't sit here and limit him to however many Disney Plus subscribers you have
Yeah.
when you can get so many more millions putting them in a movie in the theater. You know what I mean?
Which is
Hmm.
true. But so I was watching the stats, like the Assembled. I haven't watched the Assembled for Captain America or for WandaVision because I haven't finished them yet. And they were just talking about like stat wise, he was only in 2 hours worth of uh, Marvel movies. So out of 11 years, he was only on screen for 2 hours.
Mm.
But they're like in this show, he's on screen for six. So
Mm.
That
Damn.
can't be true.
yeah, they said combined, he's only in there for 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, you have to add up all the Thors and all the Avengers. Like he has like a little bit over 2 hours of screen time because
Wow.
it was never his movies.
Yeah, he's never like the main character. It's just kind of like,
Yeah, but in the Thor movies, he is definitely a co-star. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's
But
his brother.
yeah, but Thor gets all that time.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's,
but they were like, yeah, but in the TV show, he got a whole 6 hours, so you got to really, show everything, show range and what have you. Then obviously it was so good, they're like, yeah, we'll make a season 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they said they beat Netflix when it debuted, like when it came for week, they were crushing Netflix numbers. So they got me. They got me for $7.
I imagine that'd be the case for every single one of these that they come out with, though. That is Marvel centric. I could imagine that they would beat Netflix in all of them. Like Marvel is killing at the movie theater, you know what I mean? So any property that you put out there for them, I don't know. I don't see them losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know, but yeah, I thought it was really good. I am definitely looking forward to the future with those characters. I think they did an excellent job. I need to go through WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm gonna finish watching WandaVision now. My family doesn't understand when I say, "Hey, let's watch WandaVision tonight." I mean all of it.
Right.
Like I want to watch. I don't want to watch one episode. I want to marathon the entire thing. They're like,
Right.
no. We got to save them. We got to watch. Give it a couple of days. I'm just like, it could be done
It's like,
already.
right. Right. This is too long. It's taking too long.
Yeah, we don't watch stuff in real time.
Look, you remember you remember that when you start up Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Like, don't start it with them. That way, they don't have to be there for it. Like, I'm starting without you.
Gotcha.
You don't have to
Right.
be there.
Right.
Got it. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah,
That's how you do it.
I think they're doing a good job. Like, I only watched the first episode, WandaVision. I thought it was good, but obviously you don't know much. I already got all the spoilers, so I already know what's going to happen and what have you. But I just want to see it through.
If you know all the spoilers, you could possibly skip the next two and be fine. Like the first three are just, I was not a fan. I don't
Gotcha.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get through it. I'll force them to watch it. And then aside from that, I got some what is it? Space Jam. I got to watch at some point with the kids. I hear it's hit or miss. And then the last thing
Right.
I need to watch with the kids is Weathering with You. It's an anime by the creator of Namaewa, Your Name. He made one called Weathering with You. It's streaming on HBO. So maybe your kids have heard about it, Shannon, but I heard it gives you the feels. So I want to watch that with the kids.
Yeah. I heard about that one too.
What's the name of it again?
Weathering with You, like weather, like rain weather.
Weathering with You. I'll ask the older two. See if
Yeah,
they
because I know they've seen Your Name, or like it's called Name wa, like literally Your Name in Japanese. That came out back when I was in Sicily, so that was like 3-4 years ago.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Oh, maybe 5. I've been gone for almost a year. But yeah, so it came out a minute ago. So this is the new hotness. But HBO is streaming it, I believe, for free $99. So that's where I'm going to
go. That's right.
Yep.
I was going to mention the speaking of Netflix, or talking about Netflix. There's a movie I watched on the airplane. Well, yeah, I downloaded it into my device and it's on Netflix. But it's man, it's like on the top 10 list right now for Netflix. It's I think it's like Red Blood Sky, something like that. And it's like this essentially it takes place in this airplane. It's some crazy like vampire movie, but it's like you should watch the trailer. It's actually, I think they did a really good job. I thought it was just like some budget movie, but it's actually like it has some like
Blood Red Sky.
I think that's what it. Yeah, Blood Red Sky. I'm sorry, I said it backwards. Blood Red Sky.
I'm adding it to the list.
Yeah, add it to the list because I was pretty impressed with the movie. It's actually very like well made, and they actually had some production value, whatever you want to call it.
As I'm looking at these people they have in there, one of the guys is the voice in Castlevania. He's Dracula in Castlevania.
Okay,
really?
I recognize his name. Alan Drum.
Oh, he's tight cast like a mug.
Yeah. Alan Drum is Graham McTavish, who I'm fairly certain he's the one that plays Dracula. He does Dracula's voice in Castlevania.
Yeah, I'll add it to the list.
It
just interests me most because, like, where do you go?
Yeah. They're going into the cargo hold. They go into the back of the plane, in front of the plane. They're in like the pilot's cabin. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and then they land the plane, and then they have like this standoff, and it's like all this drama. And like before they do like some kind of flashbacks of like how to get into the situation, and they how this person got infected, and what's the child's backstory, and it's kind of crazy how they put it together. But I think they did a really good job about it. Good job with it.
Okay.
And I think you appreciate it, Shannon. It's got action. It's pretty much all action. It's not much like not much dryness in it.
You up,
Just
you up
story, I
here,
guess.
you up here telling me about origin story and whatnot. I'm like, nah.
I
Like,
don't need no origin. I don't need.
was their origin story the Kumite? Like, if it's not the
Right.
Kumite, I don't want to see it.
Shannon don't even need names. I don't want
Hey,
anybody's name. I just want
I don't
like,
care. I don't care.
I'm me. I'm just gonna punch you right now.
Say vampire, old guy. Like, that's good enough. It's good enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of reminds me a little bit like it's vampire slash like I don't know, almost like a zombie type thing. But it's just people are like going crazy on this airplane and like it's actually like people trying to hijack the airplane and then didn't realize there was like a vampire person on the plane.
Got a plan
and
for
then
that.
yeah and then stuff shit starts hitting the fan basically, and they have to like try to figure out like what do we do now, and like the passengers are freaking out, and they're freaking out. They got terrorists on the plane, and they also got like these vampire people or whatever, and it gets kind of like, and I was watching it while I was on the plane, so that's pretty fun.
Surprised. Like I watched, and then real quick, and then I'll land this plane. Get the pun.
That's right. Oh, there we go.
I watched Flight. Is that the one with Denzel?
Mm.
And they cut out a lot of it. You can't watch
That's the one there.
you can't watch a plane crash on the plane. I believe that's the rule.
Oh,
You know what? I don't even know why they would show that.
Yeah.
don't
So
know
I was
Right.
surprised it was on there because I knew that was like because I've seen edits before on planes. Like you can't show certain stuff because it causes panic, right? Like people
Mhm.
don't want to see that. I was
Right.
watching it and like the plane didn't crash. But then it was over. Like, you know what I mean? Like it got to a point where he was past the plane crash, and I was just like, wow,
Like,
you
dang.
literally chopped out 15, 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, but then he goes on trial for what happened. Like, how do you explain the trial? Like, you have to cut out dialogue and everything.
No, they talk about it. You just don't see it. They're like, no, we ain't showing you that.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow.
Modified. But speaking of landing planes and what have you, I'm gonna land this plane. So please like, share, subscribe. Keep us on this top 40 list. We're number 20 or number 19. So we're in the 20s. I guess people like us. I don't know where to get the metrics from, but I appreciate them, and I will keep them in the description for a few more weeks. But definitely keep tuning in. I have not done the SSP in a while. I will see if I can make time because I just want to show the beard off anyway. SSP.
Right.
If you want to see this lovely beard as well, you should watch the video if you're listening to the audio. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, LeVon. It's always an interesting conversation. I can't wait till next week. Hopefully it will be less ransomware and more something else.
Right.
But again, thank you for listening. We're nearing episode 100, so I'll keep you guys posted for episode 100 watch. And just keep listening to us. We greatly appreciate it, and we definitely want to be here for people who need this type of platform to be able to hear our voices. And get that cybersecurity news and what have you. So thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Follow me.
There you go. Yeah.
At RY Security Guy, RY Security Guy, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Clubhouse. And LeVon?
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
All right. They weren't listening anymore anyway because Loki spoilers. So
That's right. Yeah, it's nobody left anyway.
Yeah, take care. Peace.
Take care.